Hey guys, Kyle from One Up Adventures and Fly Products USA. Today I'm here to talk to you about the Cosmos 300. We have had this Cosmos since May of 2021, and at this point it has just over 105 hours on it. We just want to go over the 100-hour review and what we have found good and bad with the Cosmos 300. So since we received this unit, a couple of the things that we have really liked about it is how smooth it is, how much power it has, and just the overall ease of use. We're finding ourselves not having to even prime it. We just hit the start button and it fires up. A couple of things we've had to fix on it, to be totally transparent. One was the primer bulb. That primer bulb on there caused a few bubbles and it was just leaking some air. So with that, we removed it completely, added a solid fuel line, and we've had no more issues since then, just simply changing that part of the fuel line. And that just seemed to be with our unit by itself. Not everyone, it could have just been this one. Now, granted, it does have, like I said, over 100 hours, and that happened at about 70 when we did that. Other than that, that was the only issue with that. The basic maintenance that we've done, of course, we did the brass bushing twice at this point, and we have changed the gearbox oil 3 times. You do it once at 10 hours, once at 50, and another one at 100. So every 50 hours after the first 50, you change the gearbox oil, which is very simple, but just something that we wanted to do. I also went through, pulled the head off of the motor itself, drained all of the coolant, and cleaned the cylinder head. Pretty clean. We're using Motul 800 at 60-1 with regular pump gas. Everything has been working phenomenal. We just want to give you a very real-life scenario of how this engine is held up for us. So after we cleaned the head off and cleaned all the carbon off of the piston itself and the cylinder head, we noticed that did help a lot with our idle. And what I mean by that is, before we did that, we would notice the idle would start to creep up slowly and we'd have to hit the choke very slightly and then it would bring the idle back down, but eventually it would creep back up a little bit. And simply after cleaning the cylinder head and the top of the piston, it made a world of a difference. It runs better, it sounds better, and it doesn't peak up on that idle. The only engine out we've ever had on this unit was Allie was actually doing a tandem, and we had one of our tandem students in the back, and he was already doing really well, and he happened to have a ponytail, and that ponytail, as you'll see on the motor, there's a choke lever, and that ponytail actually happened to grab the choke lever, and when he moved his head, it actually pulled the choke, so the engine turned off. And kind of weird at first, but we realized it was just simply that. So we simply turned the choke back off and it fired right up. So if you have long hair or ponytails, it might turn your motor off if you grab the choke with it. Another couple things as far as your routine maintenance goes. Of course, tightening the head bolts is smart. We have changed the spark plugs 2 times, and we're just doing that more so as to prevent any further issues, as well as after the break-in. We just wanted to swap them because you do run it a little more rich on the break-in, and we just wanted to make it run as smooth and as best as possible. The coolant, we have not had to add any coolant to the engine, even after the flush. As far as taking off the cylinder, I removed the coolant and checked it and screened it so it was all clean, and I put it back in. And even with that amount, we haven't had to add any coolant of any kind. Any gearbox oil hasn't been running low. We just changed it at the intervals. The battery so far has not died on us, even though that's all we use is the e-start. We've never actually had to pull start this engine. So as far as the starting goes on this machine, we walk up to it, flick the switches on, hit the start button, and it fires up. Now, we have never pull started this unit. I think maybe when we first got it, we did some pulls on it just to get the fuel into the line so we didn't kill the battery. But after that, we have never had to pull start the unit. The starter works every time. It doesn't do the weird spinning thing when you hit it and it just kind of free spins by itself. It grabs every time. Haven't had a single issue in over 100 hours with it. And overall, it's just been great. We haven't had to charge it. The only time that you may have to charge this battery is if the switches get left on, because that is running on this particular unit, on the Xenit, it's running some of the gauges, so it's powered by the electrical battery that's on there. So if you leave the switches on, you will have to charge it. But the nice thing is if you do leave them on, you get out to the field, you can start it up with the pull start, fly it, and the battery will be somewhat charged by that time. So anytime we've needed parts for this unit, we do stock a few parts for each of the individual engines, but we have found that it has been the easiest and actually quickest way to get them is through Glider Sports or Sky Sports, and those guys have been great. 2-day shipping, we get the parts and we install it. They haven't messed up, nothing has been an issue, and we just get the parts directly from those guys and we install it ourselves. So if you guys need parts for the Cosmos, the Moster, or any other Vittorazi product, definitely contact Glider Sports or Sky Sports and they'll help you out. So as you can see, this Cosmos 300 is mounted on the Fly Products Xenit frame, and we have had it on this frame, as well as several of our friends and customers have also purchased this exact same setup, and we have had zero issues with the Cosmos on this frame. Aside from the frame doing what it's supposed to do, the only thing we've actually done to the frame and this actual overall unit is clean it and the routine maintenance on the Cosmos itself. So overall, it's been 100% functional for us. We use it nearly every day, and it's good for almost anybody, and it can fly me solo with the right glider. So the combination of the Cosmos and the Xenit has been incredibly popular over the last 9 months or so. We have done a lot of tandem training, and we have a lot of students that come through and say, I want that unit, and we have sold quite a few of them. Now with that, demand is going up, and the wait time on these will get longer as time goes on, just because of the sheer demand of this unit. So if you're interested in purchasing one of these, make sure you do it in a timely manner so that you have it when it comes time to train or when you want to use it, because you don't want to get stuck behind with a 6-month wait on a unit. Thank you guys for watching. Please feel free to reach out at any time. We're happy to help. Info at 1UP Adventures, 1833 Be Alive, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Please feel